Good morning.
Good morning, Cassandra Nelson. How are you, honey?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We are here on a beautiful Saturday discussing our favorite topic, real estate.
It is our number one topic.
It is kids and real estate. I'm so excited to talk to you about buying and selling during summer, right? We're heading hardcore into summertime.
It's started early this year, I feel like.
I know. It helps that we've had beautiful weather this week. And I think people got into that. Everybody's getting the itch of summer and being out and change. We're
And
feeling.
hopefully it just stays this way. I don't want another drop in the weather or snow, but.
Well, you're telling me you don't want snow in May. What is wrong with you?
No snow in May.
No. We're not going to have any more snow. It's going to be beautiful weather. And we're going to do a lot of real estate. So our goal for today's podcast is to talk to our community and, what are the benefits of buying a home in the summertime? What are the benefits of selling a home? We've done the same segment on, wintertime. What is the benefits of selling and buying? There's definitely pros and cons to every season when it comes down to real estate, but we are heading into the summer. So we really want to talk about why, if you're thinking about moving, why this is a good time to move, to buy. And then obviously this is a live segment. So if you have any questions and you're watching, feel free to ask and we'll do our best to answer.
I'm getting all of our pages up.
Yeah, let's take a second and make sure people have a second to log in and then we'll get started. Questions, you're one.
Perfect.
It's so weird when I hear my voice like that. I'm like, oh, turn it off.
Perfect. We are good to go. I have those up. So yes, if you have any questions, put them in there and I will keep my eye on those.
Wonderful. So let's get started. And as people join, obviously this is going to be a recording. People can watch. So let's talk about buying first. Buying and benefits of buying in the summertime. So that is definitely Cassie's specialty. And then I'll talk about more about selling and why you should sell in the summertime. So Cass, what are you seeing as a benefit of working with your clients in the nice, beautiful weather of buying a home?
One of the big things right now too is it's daylight longer. So if we have people are working until 5 or 6 and we can't go see a house until 6:37, at least it's still daylight out. We can see the outside, we can see the yard instead of having to come back another time when we might not have that opportunity.
I was gonna say, we don't have that.
Don't have that luxury right now. So you're seeing it one time and at least we can go later to appointments.
Yeah.
And still be able to see everything. So that longer time of having that showing is great in the spring and summertime.
Yeah.
Families right now, school is ending. Maybe they want to switch schools by next year, stay in the same school district. So having that time this summer to find something. So by the time school starts next year, you're already settled and able to start a new school.
Yeah. And especially if you're able to, a lot of people I think are starting a little earlier now, and that's what we're joking around. We're seeing that is because they're hoping to get in and have a summertime for their kids to get comfortable with the neighborhood, especially if they're moving to a new school district. So that's another benefit of buying almost earlier in the summertime is that your kids have a time to adapt before school starts.
Yeah, I think those are probably the two main things that I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. And then besides that, it's just the yard's so much prettier. If there's water features, so much prettier in the spring and summer. So that curb appeal and that feel why we're looking at houses is different in the spring and summer than it is in the wintertime.
Yeah. So in general, just to add some stats to this conversation, when people ask me when is a good time to sell and go buy, I say, when do you need to sell and buy? And then we kind of go from there. Just because real estate there is no day or time or seasons. People move and sell and buy and things happen in people's lives all year long, right, Cass? There's no discrimination and life changes. However, if you really look into the stats and percentages of how much more activity and how many more buyers are in the market in the spring and summertime, that truly is, if you really look at the stats, the real estate market is by far the busiest in the spring and summer seasons. And I contribute that besides people's change in school. I think that also, especially in Northeast Ohio, if we can just add seasons to it, is we do have so many seasons, right? And we have 4 seasons, and people have such a hunger for change after our very long winters that we have, that spring, I feel like the buyers are the hungriest and they're the most motivated, and they're the most, as far as that, we'll talk about the listing side, obviously I kind of go back to the listing. So, but from Cassie's perspective with the buyers that she's working, it's more exciting to shop for a home. You're seeing, like she said, the beautiful features and the land, and it's not cold and it's pleasurable, and you're seeing beautiful things, but you probably see some of the imperfections as well, because everything is exposed. It's not covered by snow. It's not, it's not covered by things that you just can't control. So you're seeing more stuff. So we do see more boat walls. I mean, that's not the positive part of real estate, but we see that because it's more noticeable. We see when the mulch beds are really graded incorrectly and they're going towards the house instead of away from the house. There's no way that inspector and an agent can notice that in the wintertime. So there's definitely, from the buyer's perspective, it's really fun and exciting time to look. But there's also a huge benefit for buyers to look for homes in spring and find, because they're seeing more of what they're getting with the imperfections in the home, which, not that, every home has something. So it's good to just know what you're getting yourself into, and is it something that's a big deal to you?
Yeah. And like you brought up, even, all the rain you get during spring, you're definitely going to see that in a basement if there's any issues. So great time to do those inspections.
Correct. Yeah, I had a house in a neighborhood that is just known to, just because it's really old sewage, that they have sewer backups and rains and all that. And the day we went on the market on that house in that street, and of course we disclosed that, my clients disclosed everything. So it was not anything hiding, but still, you don't want to be in your face. But it was probably like, I don't know if you guys remember, a couple of weeks, like the most rainy 2-3 days in a row, like nonstop. Like, I don't care what house you have, like everybody was worried, like, I hope nothing happens. So my client calls me, he goes, it's a good thing that it's raining, and it's a bad thing that it's raining. The good thing, because he waterproofed the basement and it's a really good quality waterproofing. He's like, they're going to see that it works really well. The bad thing, holy moly, my neighborhood is like a big giant swamp right now. So it's definitely, with the rainy seasons, the buyer's able to see if God forbid there's water issues.
Yeah.
Which happens. I mean, it's a basement and it's Northeast Ohio and it rains a lot here, so it can happen. So it's good to be able to see it, and it's all fixable, and just know how, can it be fixed, how much, and all of that stuff.
Yeah. So while we have a second, good morning to Annette and Olga, who are on and said hello to us.
Aw, hi ladies.
And then we also, Annette asked, are there more houses for sale in the spring and summer?
Annette, great question. So typically more houses, definitely. I mean, and this is what we keep telling our buyer clients, right, Cass? We're saying that more inventory is going to come, more inventory. So typically more houses do go on the market in spring and summertime, just because from the seller side, they have life too, right? They have usually kids in schools and all that. So they're working around that as well. And they usually have an itch at that point as well. That happens. So usually spring and summertime, more inventory hits the market because people are just more up to selling their homes. In general, right now, that's the biggest issue that we're seeing, right, for our clients, is that the lack of inventory and the shortage of inventory. But I will admit that, I mean, I see, we have so many clients set up on portals, where obviously we're out in the field all the time. I'm seeing a lot more houses, not just us, but other houses going on the market as well.
Yes, a lot more of those emails coming through, and the buyers and I going back and forth about all the new stuff we see. So more is definitely these past couple weeks coming on the market.
And it should continue to go up a little more, just because the other thing is, we'll talk when we get to the sellers, is that because the market is such a strong market for sellers at this point, sellers are really, really pushed by the real estate industry and by everybody that if they're looking to move, right, we're doing mailers, we're doing whatever we can. We're like, this is the time to move. We have buyers and you can actually make more money. Like, let's do this. So we're encouraging people to list, and we're not the only one. There's 11,000 realtors out there doing the same thing, hopefully to their client. Not that we're just trying to people to move, but if they're looking to move, this is a good time to capitalize, which obviously will increase the inventory. But to add to what else is happening, which kind of leads us to new construction, is that because there is a shortage of inventory, Cassandra and I are really, really counting on new construction in the area and bringing our clients to it. And it's such an amazing option for them, a solution for them, because we are able to find them land. Then we work with multiple different builders, from big builders. That's usually the easiest because they have lots and they have housing, and it's just such an easy process. If we have a match for a big builder, that's like our favorite because it just makes everybody's life so smooth and easy. But if we're dealing with a client who has different needs for whatever, then we are, partnered with several custom builders in the area. And that has been a huge solution for our buyer clientele, to help them out.
Quite a few this year so far. And I think that number's just going to keep growing.
Yeah. So it's a stat about new construction that Hannah prepared for us that I thought was like fascinating. So when we looked at stats from 2020 in February for a new construction permit, from 2020 February to 2021, it went up 17% in new construction permit pulled this year versus last year. So that's huge.
Yeah.
And last year was crazy. Like last year was one of the record years. And we talked about that, like, holy moly, I can't believe how much new construction can barely keep up. They can't keep up. They keep increasing prices, right? We take our clients to new construction and we don't want to push them again, but it's one of those things where we know that there's a really good chance if they don't sign a contract pretty soon and lock in, because of how many houses they're selling, by the time they come back, the prices could easily be, in a conservative world, 5-10 grand.
Yes.
More expensive than some. We've seen like 15, 20, 30 just within a few weeks, just because they're really, honestly, because of obviously the lumber and all the things that are going up in construction. But I personally, coming from new construction world, and I hope my new construction sales reps don't get mad at me for saying that, I don't think it has to do with just cost. I think it has to do with just slowing down a little bit and pacing things down, because there's such a crazy demand. And
I was going to say, is it the demand too they're seeing the numbers year to date go up that 17%. Why not increase those prices?
Correct. They're in for profit. They're business plans they need to make, but it's true. It's really, they're trying to capitalize on it. But you as a buyer, the good thing with the new construction part of it is you have a little more control over it, because you have ability to say, here's a lot I like, here's the product that I like, and then get that going. Where in a resale world, we have to deal with the more unknown. We're throwing it out there. We're putting a best foot forward with our clients, but a lot of houses are going for multiple offer situations. So very often you don't win the home you want. So you have more control with new construction right now, I feel like.
And you get more of what you want, the new construction route, or that resale. There's going to be things you're going to want to tweak to make your own.
Yeah. Yeah. New construction has definitely, there are things that we always discuss, what you would need to do after and the cost and all that. But in today's market, new construction has been our savior, and we are loving our new construction builders. So thank you for being there and helping us out with our clients. Okay. Any other benefits, Cass? And then we'll dive into sellers for buying a home in the summer.
Yeah, I think those are all the main key points. If you think there's anything I kind of missed, let me know. But those are everything that I see in that spring and summertime.
Yeah. Currently, just to add one more thing, and has nothing to do with spring or summertime, just current market, interest rates are very low still. Yeah. So rates are low. So you're just able to buy more house. So if you thought you could afford X, Y, and Z, and you last time looked at when interest rates were 4% when you got pre-approved, call us, call your lender, get re-qualified to see what your payments will be like and what you can qualify. I think you'd be surprised on how much more home you can afford, which obviously is another reason why it's driving the prices up, because people are doing that and they're seeing that they can afford more home, better areas, or whatever it is, and there's not a lot of inventory.
Yeah.
All right. So hopefully we answer questions about buying. Beautiful time. Interest rates are low, more daylight, and just more fun to shop for a home. And Cass and I are there for you guys if you ever need to start doing that process. Okay, let's talk about tips of selling a home. And we have some pictures prepared. So we'll show you of just good views. We have a million pictures, but we have, I don't know, 2, 3 just to give an idea. But when it comes down to selling your home in the spring and summertime, it's interesting that I go to appointments, I basically all year long. And in the fall, late falls, especially in winter, all I talk about is, how does your kitchen feel? How does your family feel? How does your fireplace, if you have a fireplace, the ambiance of a home? I honestly sometimes forget to even go outside. Towards the end, as I walk out, I'm like, oh, wait, hold on, you have an outside. Let's go like spring, summer, I'm a different Ina. I'd be like, inside, yeah, we'll figure it out. Let's go outside. And I spent a lot of time with you at your home discussing your outdoors. So we talk about yard, we talk about patios, we talk about deck, we talk about staging those areas, putting love into it, adding flowers, making sure your grass is cut. So these are all the tips that we go over. But in general, just think of it like an outdoors, like don't look at outdoors, it's just a backyard, it's just a front porch. Think of it as an outdoor living. With COVID 2020 affecting real estate in such a crazy way, and it changed everybody's life. I don't know if it's ever going to go back to, I don't know, whatever normal means at that point, but how many people work from home now? How many kids are still being homeschooled? Including my kids, they're still virtual school. So outdoor spaces became so important because you're home so much more. So like my daughter on Friday spent her entire day, we gave her a computer, we sat her on our patio, and she sat there and she said she had such a great time just sitting outside and doing her schoolwork versus being inside in her little, whatever area she has. So think of outdoor as not just, think of it as outdoor living space. And how do you expand into your outdoor? Whenever you have a front porch and you're going on the market, my tip is splurge on those flowers. Go buy those flower baskets that are $15, $20 or whatever. Put the flower baskets in the front. When people are emotional about your home, they tend to be more excited. They tend to want to buy it. They tend to buy more and faster. They tend to fight for it even more when they're emotional about it. And flowers and cleaning and nice yard work makes people feel that. Right, Cass?
I'm a big fan of front porches. I love front porches, watching the kids on the sidewalk, riding their bikes, chalking. We love front porches.
Yeah, I know Cass always brings that up, but you can have a front porch, but when you're going in a market, even if you're not a front porch lover or you don't have it set up, go rent a couple of cute little, chairs out for your front porch. Add some flowers to it. A woman like Cassandra who would be shopping for a home would see the front porch and then see that on it. Her imagination goes into a different world of like how she's going to sit there and her kids are going to run and all of that. So keep that in mind. You want to, one of the things that I also remind when I talk to sellers in their homes about it, we talked about new construction, right, a minute ago. I grew up in that world. I grew up in new construction, gorgeous models. And I use that as an example all the time because most people have seen a model at some point in their lives where, they've walked into a builder's model and they go, have you seen a builder's model before? And most people say, yeah, I've stopped by. What did you think of it? How did it feel? Oh, it's beautiful. I was like, was the house beautiful or is the decoration beautiful? And most of the time they don't even realize it. It's not that there's anything wrong with that house, but it's how that decoration, how builders spent thousands of dollars and put so much thought into every little detail because they want you to imagine your life's there, and I even joke around. I'm like, did you see that little sitting area in the back of the master bedroom? They're like, yes. And I go, did you see how it had the little chairs and then like a little area where you can read a book? And they're like, yeah. Are you ever going to sit there and read a book? She's like, never. Did you think you're going to do it when you're walking through the model? Yes. I'm like, that's what we're doing with your house. There it is. You got it. So now you guys all know my trick. My trick is to help people make their homes look like not model perfection, but so people can imagine how they can live in their home, in your home. And
feeling that you would get.
Yep, the feeling you get. So, and it can be done with any decor, with any style, with any price point. It does not matter. I do that in $1 million houses. I do that in $50,000 trailers. I try to give people that feeling in all the homes. And I think it works. I think it works in any market, good market, bad market, medium markets, any market.
Yes.
Yep. So state your outdoor area. A lot of things that are also important, especially in the summertime, just because it's beautiful out, is definitely leave all your blinds and window treatments as wide open as you can, so all the natural light comes into the house. Control temperature. Oh, good one. Control temperature. So a lot of people forget about that, but number one thing that people do when they come to people's home at any seasons is smell. That's number one. Smell is the first thing. Even with our masks, you can still smell, and you see people going like this a little bit and they smell it. Smell is important, so focus on the smell. But the second thing is how they feel in the temperature of the home.
Yes.
So if you're one of those people that you're like, I really like it super hot, or I really like it really, really cold, it's not about you at that point. We need to do it what the mask likes. And the mask likes it comfortable. Nobody likes hot. Nobody likes to sweat. Nobody likes to be cold. So if it's hot outside, turn on the AC if you have an AC, or turn the fans on. Make your home feel comfortable in temperature. And obviously, if it gets cooler, tone it down. But don't make your home a sauna. Nobody likes that feeling of a sauna. Even in today's market, when it's a crazy seller's market, you walk in a house and it smells bad. It feels like a sauna. The buyer better really, really want your house, or it's priced super, super low. Otherwise, you're not getting an offer. Right?
So true.
Like, that's the truth there. Pools. Let's talk about pools. This is a cool conversation to have. Pool. So prior to 2020, when I would go to people's house and they have, look, we have this gorgeous pool. We just spent $100,000 on it. I'm like, oh, congratulations. We're Northeast. Okay, nobody cares about a pool. It doesn't matter. We're getting nothing for it. I'm pricing it accordingly to what the market is. And if somebody likes it, it's a bonus. If they don't, they will never buy your house. In today's world, if you have a pool and you're thinking of moving, sell. This is a good time to sell. People are obsessed with water features, pools, ponds, lakes, any water feature where it used to be a negative in our area because we're so cold and our seasons are so short. People don't care. Even that 2 months of beautiful weather, they're willing to sacrifice all the other hard work, all the other seasons for it, to have that in their home. So if you have a pool and you want to sell, you need to call me. Okay. Anyways, the other thing about pool, if you're going in a market in the summertime, even if you were not planning to open up your pool, I would encourage you, if you're not going with us and your realtor is not recommending that, is to still open it up like you're having a pool party.
Yeah.
Unless it's something really, really costly, or like you're in a really bad situation there where you can't do it, it is absolute benefit. When you see a pool covered up and leaves all over it and your chair's falling on the side from the winds, you're reminding people of a chore of a pool.
Yes.
Bad parts of the pool, the hard work of the reality of the pool, as we'll call that. You're reminding them of when you open all that up and you make it beautiful, and you're putting your chairs, lawn chairs out, and you're putting the towels and the flowers, all you're doing is you're creating that memory and lifestyle where a family like myself and Cassie and millions other would go, you know what, just so I can see my kiddos jumping in there and I can watch them and drink my little cocktails and watch it from there, it's worth the work. It's worth the work. But if I'm seeing the work in front of me, it might not be as like mommy kahuna at that point. It might be like, kids, we're going to go to community pool. We're not dealing with that. If you have a pool, make sure you stage it and open up. If you have a pond and you have a fountain, turn the fountain on. If you have a koi pond, make sure it's cleaned up. Koi ponds, I have a koi pond. They require some work, so make sure it's cleaned up. If you can stock them even with a couple of goldfish, just to, again, give it a livelihood and not just a standing water, make sure you do that as well.
I showed a couple houses recently with the pools, and it couldn't be more spot on with having that ambiance of the water outside. If it was covered up, they would just see dollar signs of what they need to do.
Yeah.
Instead of the fountain on in the pool and the slide going and all the furniture and like
you showed one of my listings.
That pool was amazing.
we were triggering every emotion there. That house is going to, that
and
house
it was like the perfect day outside too. And I was like, I could just see all this family out here cooking out.
It was cool.
Great selling feature.
Cass, you saw it firsthand. I mean, I don't know our properties, but right, how good of a feeling was that when you're walking through that way?
Yeah.
I loved it. Yard work, we talked about it. Make sure weeds are not there. You don't need to remulch. Often people ask me, do I need to remulch my whole yard? I mean, I don't know why people are obsessed with mulch. I think mulch is important. We don't want to have just dirt piles all over, but you don't need to go crazy. Believe it or not, that's an overkill very often. If you just get a thin layer, just like around the property and just mulch a little bit just to look at it. I don't see anybody walking to your home and going, I am not buying this house because it needs mulching. So that, believe it or not, does not happen. If it does, they would not be buying your house anyway. So mulch, but don't go crazy. Don't do your normal, like if you're normally like a big mulcher and you put like this much mulch and you do every yard, just in the front, just to spruce it up a little bit is good. Weeds are more important for you to rip than mulching because weeds just shows you're not maintaining a home. Mulch is more of a preference. Some people like mulch, some people like rocks. Weeds, definitely remove them. Power washing, that's the other thing we talk about. So siding, our area mostly siding, right? Cass was working with a client who's relocating from an area that has all bricks and stone as like their whole houses. So they were confused, like, why are there so many houses with siding? It's right. We don't realize it. The way we do, most of our homes are sided and some stucco, but mostly sided, and maybe just a little bit of stone and brick in the front, but mostly sided. Siding through the winter gets like that green algae looking thing all around. Make sure you power wash before you go on the market. It's such an easy thing. If you do it yourself, even with a hose, great. But if you need to even hire, it's like a couple $100, honestly, to make it come in and clean it all out. It literally transforms your siding. In the wintertime, it's like what I tell people with carpet. I don't need you to replace carpet. I just need you to have it, make sure it's clean. So just get stainless steamers or whoever out and get your carpet cleaned. That does the job. Siding is the same thing for the outside. Just clean up your siding. Cobwebs. Nobody really hangs out in their front door, but all your buyers are coming through your front door. That's how most realtors want to bring their clients through, is the front door. So make sure before you go on the market, you go to your front door and you look at your front door, make sure your door is cleaned and wiped, and make sure there's no cobwebs in the, around the lights all around you. Walk around the house. Very few people walk around the whole home, all the time. I don't. I mean, unless I'm getting my house ready for market, I probably don't ever see the side of my house. I don't hang out there. So go around, and if you have like a hose laying or a bunch of bricks or dirt, clean all that up. Like, you would not believe what a good cleaning around your home will, how well your home will show because of that. And cobwebs, a lot of cobwebs after winter. So make sure you clean them all out.
The one house we have coming to the market, they did not have a huge to-do list on the inside that you gave them. And they're focusing so much on the outside. They want it to look perfect on the outside.
Aw, I wonder which house is that? Their home must have been perfect inside. I'm like, you're good. Let's just focus on the outside. I think that's all I have. Kaz, did I miss anything about selling in the summer?
No, we hit everything on our punch list.
Awesome.
That potential buyer just needs to see themselves living in that house when they go see it.
Yep, and just in the spring and summertime, just focus. Obviously, we want to make sure inside looks nice too, because they're still walking through it. So don't totally ignore it, but definitely add energy into the outside living as well, and expand from there. You're gonna, that hard work, if you need to hire somebody, or if you do it yourself, if you can't hire somebody, will pay off 100%, especially in today's market, because buyers are willing to pay more because there's no inventory. There's such a shortage of inventory. That's the biggest challenge right now. And like we said, new construction is our way to go. But if we have a beautiful resale home we can present, there's plenty of buyers that would love to buy a resale home because they don't either have time to wait for new construction, because most construction is already into November, December, January. So it's past school year. So they don't have the luxury to wait. And some people just don't have a, desire or imagination to build. They just want to see a home and just buy it, and that's it. They don't want to go through the hassle. Yep. All right, let me just share something really, really quick. And then we're gonna wrap up.
There we go.
Can you see?
Yes, we can't see the writing on it, but if we want to.
Okay. This is just a colorful flyer that we found that just shows, first of all, prices from last year to this year on average have gone up 10% all over. So prices are going up, just more some stats. This is just giving you like what things in our market are helping the values. We would discuss all of that. So the main reason why I wanted to get on there is I just want to show, a few pictures of what we mean about curb appeal. So Cass, can you see this picture clearly?
Yeah, that picture's perfect.
So look at this house. This is an adorable American flag. We couldn't find a more charming property to show. But this is not a $1 million fancy, crazy home. Yeah. But look how charming. Just the basket right here and the light and it all being clean. And of course, American flag if you like to do that. And the basket. I mean, who does not want to pull up and go, this is my dreamy little home?
Yeah.
Yep. So this is just a picture. This is something a little fancier that we wanted to show. So if you have a more of just a little fancier backyard, this is a great example of it's still, if you look at it, it's pretty decluttered. Like there's not a lot of stuff. Like you don't need to set up crazy amount of decor and little tchotchkes. Again, it's very simple. But when you see this, I mean, I don't know about you, I want to hang out in that backyard. I want to sit by that fire. I want to sit by that bar and have somebody serve. I want my husband to grill. I want, see my kids sitting over there. So anyway, so this is a great way to show what you can do when you have a little fancier patio backyard. This is giving you an idea of a deck. So if you look at this, this is, again, nothing crazy. A traditional all-American deck that we see in a lot of houses, right? But
soon as simple.
What is it?
Just simple.
Yeah. But soon as you add those two chairs, pretty much anybody I walk through their house, I go, do you have any patio furniture? They go, yeah, I have it in my garage. And I'm like, let's get it out and clean it up. Most people have a table like this and a chair. Look at this, just two chairs, a little table and flowers, and an empty deck all of a sudden feels totally different. Okay. This right here is a before. Sorry about that. Puppies are amazing, but they're a lot of work. Anyway, before and after, this is a good one. I like this one. I love that Hannah took this same exact house and just showed what you do to spruce it up. So they obviously made it a little fancier with the front covered area. I don't know if you can see before and after easily, but the flowers are blooming. They did the post and the railing. They changed it up. They got rid of the screen door and just left the back door and just had it painted. At least is what it looks like. Yeah. But this is the exact same house by just adding those two little chairs and sprucing up the front. Whatever they put into it, times 3 is what they would get back.
Yes.
If not more.
Those white steps just brighten it up so much too.
Yep. And then also photography probably makes a difference too, but that comes to more of a marketing and your realtor doing their job. But the picture here and here has a different feeling, and that's what we're trying to explain. This is a back deck area. Again, we actually just listed a house. They did an amazing job. We should have used that as an example of what they did in the back deck area. So this is a good example of that. And then this is a dreamy front porch that I'm sure Cassandra Nelson is drooling right now over, and we'll have one day. But this is perfection. Just the two chairs, the flowers, the cleansingness, the charm, the windows, everything about it, and just adding a little bit of a flowers and love, and voila.
They're all perfect.
Yep. I think that's it. I think we covered everything. If you have any questions, let us know. Ask now, ask later. We're just a phone call away. So Cass and I are always available. Any questions, Cass? Anything that's anybody's asking? Any comments?
No other questions. So we still got, 10 people on here watching us. So thanks for spending your Saturday morning with us.
Yes, thank you so much. Hopefully you found this little informative. And if you are thinking of selling, of course, give us a call. If you're looking to buy, Cass is there to help you guys out. And we just want to wish everybody a great weekend.
Enjoy this weather. Get outside.
Yes, go out. Bye, Cass. Have a great day.
Bye.
Love you.